Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's Annual Report 2019 to 2021. The Annual Report 2019 to 2020 Enforcement and Regulatory Compliance. FSSAI has put in place a web-based food safety compliance through regular inspections and sampling system to verify compliance of food safety and hygiene standards by food businesses, which replaces the manual keeping of inspection reports with digital records. FSSAI has developed the State Food Safety Index to measure the performance of states on various parameters of food safety. 7 states and union territories, namely Goa, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Kerala, Chandigarh, MP, Tamil Nadu, with a score of more than 75%, were awarded leading states for their impressive performance. FSSAI has undertaken a comprehensive review of food safety and standard licensing and registration of food businesses 2011 and finalized amendment regulations for 2011 for draft notification. To ensure food businesses work with proper license, enforcement drive has been initiated with effect from 1st October 2019. This drive focuses to identify FBOs who have not obtained registration certificate despite being eligible for license, FBOs continuing food businesses with expired license or without license, and FBOs manufacturing and processing food products which are not endorsed on their license. Standards and regulations. Globally benchmark food standards. FSSAI has notified some important final regulations during the 2019 to 2020 period. These include food safety and standards, recovery and distribution of surplus food regulation, food product standards and food additives, Third Amendment regulations, food product standards and food additives, Second Amendment regulations, prohibition and restriction on sales, Second Amendment regulations 2019. FSSAI has also notified many draft regulations. Quality assurance. 12 notified food laboratories have been recognized as National Reference Laboratory (NRL) for a period of 3 years from 8 August 2019. 14 more mobile food testing labs called Food Safety on Wheels and Consumables have been sanctioned since 1st April 2019. FSSAI is implementing a central sector scheme for strengthening a food testing system in the country, including provision of mobile food testing labs. Under the scheme, grants have been released for upgrading laboratories. National Milk Safety and Quality Survey. To ascertain the true status of quality of milk and to identify hotspots of its adulterations, FSSAI conducted a third-party assisted national survey in May 2018 for qualitative and quantitative analysis. It covered 3 quality parameters, 13 common adulterants and 3 contaminants. As per the final report released in October 2019, 7% samples were found to be unsafe for consumption. 12 out of 6,432 samples had adulterants that affect the quality of milk, and 41% of milk samples were non-compliant with reference to one or the other quality parameters, but were without any safety issues. The overall results indicate clearly that milk being sold in India is largely safe for consumption. Addressing micronutrient deficiencies through food fortification. FSSAI is addressing micronutrient deficiencies by formulating standards for fortification of key staple. The standards prescribe minimum and maximum range of fortification. 18 states and 4 union territories have adopted fortification of several commodities in the government safety net programs, namely Integrated Child Development Services (ICDS), Midday Meal (MDM), Public Distribution System (PDS). FSSAI has also launched a F+ logo to identify fortified food. Imports. FSSAI has its presence at 22 points of entry under 6 locations and has its own Food Import Clearance System (FICS), an online system with a customs ICE gate. Customs Department implements the RMS, Risk Management System, that is selective sampling and testing of food articles under SWIFT in consultation with FSSAI. The Government of India, Directorate General of Foreign Trade, has imposed a ban on import of milk and milk products from China for 3 months via notification number 46 dated 24th September 2008. This ban has been further extended until the capacity of all laboratories at ports of entry have been suitably upgraded for testing melamine. Codex. India successfully organized the 21st session of the FAO and WHO Coordinating Committee for Asia during 23rd to 27th September 2019 at Goa, India, where the committee identified inter alia several possible approaches that included whole food chain approach, investing in training, education of smallholder farmers, and improving accessibility and applicability to food safety standards and food practices. One Health approach, investing in data generation for identification, assessment, and management of hazards, use of Codex standards and their adaptation to local context, etc. Eat Right initiatives. Eat Right India movement has been launched by FSSAI with the tagline Sahi Bhojan Behtar Jeevan. The key themes are eat safe, eat healthy, and eat sustainable. Trans Fat Free logo. One regulatory measure of Eat Right India includes a limit for total polar compounds (TPC) in cooking oil at a maximum of 25% has been prescribed to avoid the harmful effects. In addition, labeling provisions have been made for children and pregnant women. Regulations to reduce trans fat to less than 2% in all oils, fats, and food products are in place to achieve Trans Fat Free India by 2022. A trans fat free logo was formally launched by Union Health Minister Dr. Harsha Vardhan. The next one is Safe Food and Healthy Diet for School Children. FSSAI has notified draft regulations titled Food Safety and Standards, Safe Food and Healthy Diets for School Children Regulations 2019. The idea is to make clear what is healthy for children and what is not. Foods which are referred to as foods high in fat, salt and sugar cannot be sold inside or within 50 meters of the school campuses. Eat Right India campaign. FSSAI started a consumer awareness campaign, Eat Right India for Sustainable Living, as a call to action for plastic waste management and reduction of plastic waste management and reduction of plastic footprint in the food and beverage industry. The Eat Right Toolkit has been created as an easy-to-use comprehensive package with simple messages and interactive material. Food Safety MITRA FSM. FSM, Food Safety MITRA, is a scheme introduced by FSSAI to engage motivated individuals with the food safety ecosystem at a ground level. FSSAI has put together an online portal for the same. Gender issues. For protection of female employees, a 4-member internal complaints committee has been constituted in FSSAI headed by director-level officer and includes an external member. 3 out of 4 members are female. Now let us take a look in the annual report 2020 to 2021. An advisory dated 8th September 2020 has been issued to all Food Safety Commissioner and Central Licensing Authorities to file complaint in courts for violation of provisions of IMS Act. FSSAI has developed the State Food Safety Index to measure performance of states and the Union Territories. For the year 2019 to 2020, the ranking was released on 7th June 2020. Among the largest states, Gujarat came first, followed by Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. Among the smaller states, Goa came first, followed by Manipur and Meghalaya. FSSAI has issued instructions to food safety commissioners for taking effective enforcement measures to undertake surveillance, sampling and inspection at premises of FBOs at regular intervals to curb misuse of golden syrup, invert sugar, rice syrup, ensuring FBPs are manufacturing and selling blended edible vegetable oil with both FSSAI license and UGMARK certification. Check manufacture and import of stapled tea bags except for 16 FBOs who were allowed further time limits. Ensure compliance with orders banning PABA in products covered under nutraceutical regulations due to safety concerns. Check on products for RDA values exceeding the RDA limits prescribed by FSSAI in case of license to products covered under FSS. Strictly monitor production process of all vegetable oil refineries and blending units. Strict compliance of the labeling of the products covered under FSS Regulations 2016 with the standards specified under General Labeling Requirements under the FSS Packaging and Labeling Regulations 2011. Standards and regulations globally benchmark food standards. A few of the final regulations notified during the 2020 to 2021 period. Food Safety and Standards, Safe Food and Balanced Diet for Children in School Regulations 2020. Packaging and Labeling Amendment Regulations relating to display of information in food service establishments. Prohibition and Restriction on Sales, Third Amendment Regulation related to limit of total polar compounds in unused fresh vegetable oil or fat. Prohibition and Restriction on Sales, Second Amendment Regulation regarding removal of clause regarding mandatory certification of UGMARK for certain food products. Food Product Standards and Food Additives, 8th Amendment Regulations 2020 related to provision of additional additives and microbiological requirements for species. Now let's take a look in the Quality Assurance Strengthening Food Testing Ecosystem. FSSAI is planning on conducting a Pan-India Milk Product Survey 2020, MPS 2020. The survey was conducted on 12 and 13 November 2020 during Diwali. Total sample collected was 3,100. FSSAI conducted a Pan-India Edible Oil Quality Survey in August 2020. FSSAI has provided rapid handheld kits and devices to states and union territories across the country. They also implemented a sample management system across the country, under which cold chain facilities for storage and transportation of food samples are being provided to states and union territories. They also conducted a survey for detection of adulteration in COA through FSW provided by FSSAI. Now addressing micronutrient deficiencies through food fortification. Daily Recommendations on Fortification, a handbook for states and union territories to clarify and support implementation of fortification, was released on the World Food Day by the Honorable Union Health Minister. Directions have been issued by the nodal ministries and departments for introducing fortification in the Government Food Safety Net program. Consolidated data on fortification is being monitored by FFRC. Another important regulation to boost fortification of food, which is under formulation, will now cover standards for fortification of species identified, milk like cow, buffalo, camel, goat, sheep, etc. Imports. Ensure the quality of honey and to contain the misuse of imported golden syrup, invert syrup, rice syrup in the production of honey. All importers FBOs which are importing golden syrup, invert syrup and rice syrup into India have been directed wide order dated on 20 May 2020 to submit necessary documents to authorized officers at scrutiny stage before clearance regarding details of manufacture with end users to whom the aforesaid important food items will be supplied to. Ensure that only non-GM crops are imported into India. FSSAI issued an order dated on 21 August 2020. Training and capacity building. FSSAI had introduced food safety training and certification to build capacity as a food business, may it be big or small, to ensure food safety, promote self-compliance to FSS Act. A special drive for training of food handlers working for the MDM scheme, ICDS scheme, government canteens, religious places has been initiated. Codex. The Executive Committee conducted its 79th meeting virtually. India participated as coordinator for Asia, where the committee has recommended standards for mango chutney, where potatoes and chili sauce for their final adoption by Commission. International cooperation. Scientific and technical cooperation at the international level is one of the most important activities undertaken by FSSAI to promote consistency between international technical standards and domestic food standards. FSSAI has so far entered into 9 cooperation agreements with the various authorities in other countries. Collaboration in R&D and information dissemination in food safety and nutrition. FSSAI has created the Network for Scientific Cooperation for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition to foster innovation and cooperation in the field of research areas related to food safety and nutrition. FSSAI signed an MOU with CSIR on 7th August 2020 towards collaborative research and information dissemination in the area of food and nutrition. Eat Right India. The Eat Right initiative by FSSAI has been recognized among the top 10 for the food system, Vision Prize by the US-based Rockefeller Foundation. FSSAI has taken a number of measures, both regulatory and non-regulatory measures, to achieve the Eat Right India objectives. The Eat Right Challenge was launched in the month of July 2020 among districts and cities to recognize their efforts in adopting and scaling up various initiatives under the Eat Right India movement. General awareness. FSSAI issues guidance note to food businesses and consumers on issues of food safety and to dispel myths. Some of the guidance notes issued in 2020 to 2021 period are on food for special medical purposes, clean and fresh fruit and vegetable market, safety and quality of traditional milk products, food hygiene and safety guidelines for food businesses during the corona pandemic. Special COVID-19 related measures. In order to dispel myths regarding foodborne transmission of COVID-19, FSSAI clarified through a press release dated 5th March 2020 that there is no conclusive evidence for any foodborne transmission of COVID-19, among other advisories. Amendment of the Food Safety and Standards Act. The amendment proposals are presently under consideration in the Ministry. Important changes proposed include bringing export and animal feed within the purview of FSSAI, harmonizing definitions with Codex and other acts, protecting retailers and distributors from liability in case of untampered packaged food, rationalizing penal provisions, among a few. The Ministry solicited comments and suggestions of the public and stakeholders on the amendment through public notice. We hope you found this video helpful on a deep insight in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. If you really liked this video, then please feel free to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.